Alright, hey guys, I'm finally going to show you how to make sourdough cinnamon rolls. So we are going to start with 3 cups of flour. We're going to mix all the dry ingredients together first. So that's 1 teaspoon salt, half a teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder. You want to mix it together with a whisk, a dough hook, a fork. I have a dough hook. Mix it all up, and then we're gonna cut half a cup of butter into the flour. Once I start getting like some chunks in it like this, I kind of like just to do it with my hands. And let me show you, just like that. Now we're gonna add our wet ingredients, which is about 3/4 of a cup of milk, half a cup of sourdough discard. So all of the sourdough starter that you've been saving as you've been feeding your starter this whole time, and you've been saving in the fridge, that's what discard is. So do half a cup of discard. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey. All right, so this is where a whisk might be a little bit more difficult. A dough hook is amazing. We're gonna stir it all together. A fork might work, a spoon would be good. All right, so you wanna knead for about 4 minutes until it's not sticky. It's a nice soft dough. It feels kind of a little bit wet maybe, but it's not sticky at all. It's not sticking to the counter, it's not sticking to my hands. I'll be there in about 4 minutes. Adding any extra flour onto the cupboard as you need. You might need to add a little bit, you might not need to add any, depending on kind of how runny your starter was. Can depend on how much flour you need to add. All right, so we are just going to place it in our bowl. We're gonna cover it with some plastic. Rise for around 2 to 4 hours. You can do as little as 2, and you can do overnight up to 8 hours. I've done both. They both work good. Depending on the temperature of your kitchen, 8 hours might be stretching it. 6 hours might be stretching it. If it's a really warm day, your dough will ferment really fast. So just keep an eye on it. If it's the winter, go ahead and do it overnight. I would kind of do it during the day or in the morning so that you can just do it for a few hours. You can also do it for a couple hours and then put it in the fridge overnight if you wanted to fresh cinnamon rolls in the morning. Anyways, we are going to let this sit on the counter for about 4 hours today. Okay guys, so it's actually been 24 hours since we made the dough. I would suggest that's the longest time you do it. I just ran out of time during the day yesterday, and then at night I was so tired and out of energy. What I had done after the 4 hours on the counter, letting it ferment, I put it in the fridge, and it's been in the fridge ever since. I recommend, this is what I like to do. You can use it after it's fermented on the counter. You can use it right away. I like to put it in the fridge for an hour or 2 just to get it cold, because it's easier to work with, to roll out and work with. It's colder, it's harder, and so it's easier to roll up, and it's easier just to kind of deal with all together. So I would recommend doing the fridge anyways, but I've done it and I still want to show you guys. It's still going to be great. It's still going to be the most delicious thing ever. I wouldn't go more than 24 hours from when you made the dough. Anyways, so right now we're going to do the filling. We're going to do half a cup butter, almost melted. I melted mine a little bit more than I normally would. Just really a soft butter. A little bit of melt is okay. Half a cup sugar, half a cup brown sugar, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. You're gonna stir it all together. All right, once that's good and mixed together, we're gonna roll our dough out. Again, it's easier to work with when it's cold, especially when you're doing different kinds of fillings. Cinnamon is a little bit easier, but as I'll show you in my future recipes, strawberry or lemon blueberry, as you're adding different things to the middle, it's so much easier to work with when it's cold. So this recipe will make 12, 1/4 of an inch thick, about 12 by 16 rectangle, and we'll make it into 12 cinnamon rolls. We are going to add our cinnamon and sugar filling. All right, because I'm experimenting today, I cut 2, and I'm going to use those 2 for something else. But we're gonna spread the whole mixture Gonna go all the way to the edges. And for one of my secrets, we cut our sweet rolls before we roll them. It helps them stay nice and uniform. I promise this is the best trick. It makes them look so nice. And then we are going to roll them up. And look at how pretty that is. All right, you're gonna place them in your prepared pan. I like to do a cast iron skillet lined with parchment paper. You can do a 9x13, you can do ramekins to do individual ones. We're going to place them in your prepared pan. We're gonna bake at 350, 30 to 35 minutes. All right, hey guys, so our cinnamon rolls are done baking. I like to top mine with just a yummy glaze. You can make a cream cheese frosting for yours if you want as well. But for the glaze, we're gonna start with a cup of powdered sugar. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon vanilla. And we're gonna do 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. I like to mix it with a fork. You can mix it with a whisk, a spoon. All right, so you get mixed sauce in and you just drizzle it right over those sweet rolls. Okay guys, so you top with your icing. They look so good. I hope you guys enjoy.